Hello mga kachilak! So today, I'm happy to eat with you. And my meal is lumpia. So, this is requested by my sister in Christ in an online church. So, her name is Super Nicole. So, I made variety of them. So, this one is the plain lumpia. This one has an onion chives. I don't know. I know, no, it's the kimchi or the onion chive. So it's green. It's another kind of vegetable or spices. So this one is the one that has seasoning that is available here in the Philippines. So I don't know if it's available in Germany because Super Nicole is in Germany. So, yun ang dahilan kung bakit ako nag-English, okay? Kasi requested ito ni Super Nicole. So, ito yung my cheese, the one with the cheese. I will taste this one. Tastes good. This is a chicken spring roll. You can eat with rice. Other one. I like the first one. Very simple. And this one with that. This one really tastes lumpia, Philippine lumpia. This one with the cheese. And the winner for me is this one. Very simple. So I'll just hello to Sis Nicole. She's the one who requested this recipe, lumpiang chicken lumpia. So usually in our country, our lumpia is pork lumpia. So our recipe for pork lumpia is standard. So this one, garlic and onions and salt and pepper and ground pork and a combination of carrots. But since chicken has a different distinct taste, it really has a distinct taste. Not as what do you call that? Not as, how can I explain the taste of pork? The taste of pork is solid while the taste of chicken is lighter. So when it comes to chicken, I will have to add something else like ginisa mix or soy sauce. So this is how I did with chopping my onion and what do you call that? What do you call this? Oh my goodness, the onion made me cry. Onion and garlic. The next one is, so I'll just have the veggie stuffed. So I have to use a little time for myself because was because of the onion. So I'm showing you that this is just my preference. So as you can see, I didn't peel the onion, but some are peeling onions because it's their preference. But for me, I didn't peel the onions because for me it's edible. So I'll stop the video again because this making the carrots into square would take a little time. So you have already seen it, so I will. So the next one, chicken. So I wanted to show you and I wanted to explain to you that there are supermarkets that already made a ground chicken. Most of them is actually ground pork. So this one, since I haven't seen in the supermarket the ground chicken, I just get this one and then ask him to just take out the bone. So this bone, I can still use this for the soup. So I plan of making macaroni soup. So this is not really a waste. But if you don't have macaroni, so that was the time that actually it's because I have a macaroni. So I asked for the bones, but you can have it thrown away. So I will just have this cleaned first. I forgot of wait. I forgot of cleaning this. Oops. Okay, so this one, since we don't have the grinder, I will just do it manually, and then just like the other one, just do some cubes. Just if you have a grinder, you can mix all of them because all of them are like squares, so you can grind them all. Anyways, this one is all going to mix together, so it's okay to combine them all together, so you don't have to do it all and get so tired of what do you call this having it all cube, having it all minced. So I have to, before I stop the video, so some people are quite sensitive with food, so I have to be careful in making the food clean, but I have to do it privately. So now that you have seen the ingredients, I'm gonna show you how to, this is the lumpia wrapper, how to separate this. This is very thin, so after buying this to the store, I hope the store can preserve this because sometimes they break. So this one is quite big. This one is quite big. They have different sizes. So in my case, since I just feed myself because my family is away, so I just chose the this one. This one is some kind of like, what they call this? This is one is telling you that this is for 10. So this is tens. So I will have to separate them. So they are tens. So the best one for this, that if you buy this, you immediately use this, because sometimes when they get hardened, it's hard to separate them, but good because I found something that is easy to separate. That one, we're separating it already. This should be easy. See, that should be easy. So I'm gonna show you that this lumpia wrapper will wrap. This lumpia wrapper will wrap something like big, something like that. So it would depend. So I plan to cut them in half because this is big one. So if I have a smaller one, so it's enough that I don't cut it. And also when I cut this in half, the 10 will become 20. You see? So I cut this in half. But it's not advisable that you cut it, so I just did this for myself. So it's either you separate it already before cutting it, or for me, because it will save you time, but what I did was, so you have to, when you put it somewhere, you have to put it in a dry surface, because this is quite sensitive, that if you put this in a wet surface, it clings to it, and it's gonna be hard to use it because it clings. Actually, this one clings. So I'll just stop the video first to finish this. I'm gonna show you after. So it's done. I've separated them all. Next, so I finished with this. So the next step is to mix them all together. And so I didn't, actually it's just a teaspoon of soy sauce, but because I just, what do you call that? Just try to, didn't use a teaspoon, so like that, maybe that would be enough. So because we are also going to put on more salt, because not really more, but just a pinch, because the soy sauce has a distinct taste while the salt has a different taste. The salt actually so I don't know how to explain it, but the salt pushes out the taste. So I'll now be like that. So for a while, let them come together. So while you are mixing them, you will actually smell that they are really, that the seasoning, the onion and garlic is really oozing out their power to make the meat, that it would taste good. So because of that, I will now then pour the carrots. Okay, some of us uses not carrots or an extender. Carrot is an extender, but since carrot is a vegetable, it's a really good mix. And some are using cornstarch or cake flour or just a flour as an extender. So for me, I would choose this one, because when you put on some flour, you will not recognize the pork. So, but flour is really good too. So when you mix them all together, so the seasoning are spreading and spreading. So just sometimes they taste it if it's really enough. So I will try not to add our seasoning mix. So what will I do is that I will wrap this to know if this one is enough, and then the next part I will put on seasoning mix, and yeah, the next part I will put on kimchi, because sometimes, I'm sorry for this, but that should have been not like that, but that's what I have. But that would make the I know that would make the chicken lumpia a little better, because it has a distinct smell and taste. So for now, I will do this first. So we move on to the wrapping of the lumpia. Okay. So at least this has been used. Okay. So this would make a bite size. So now I hope you're finding this easy. This is quite easy, you know. This is the first batch for me without the seasoning. So you just get it for like this, what you call it, one spoonful. Okay, so it depends on you. If you want to do it more, you can do it more. But for me, this is how I do it. So actually, there's no rule to wrapping it. As I said, you can wrap it in so much. You see? This one. Okay, next. Are you getting it now? 1 spoonful, or some you can just have it half spoonful, half spoon. See that? Because sometimes it would overflow, so you just estimate it. Yes, you just estimate it. And this is how, yeah, that's why you have to make it fresh, so that it will easily clip to each other. Okay. So you see, I'm done with the first mix. So I'm just gonna show you that when I put this kimchi, so this is how I do it. So this kimchi here, they still have the roots. So I know these roots can still be. So you just have it very small. So I know this one, this have a distinct smell. So this one I can still, what do you call that? I have planted some kimchi in my pot. So put on here. This is another mix. Another mix. And then we will taste it after. So this is the other mix of me, so I just separated them. You see, there's so many vegetables here. We'll see what happens. I will taste it later. So I just showed the first one, because in some countries, like I don't know, with Germany, hello to. This is the reason why I'm speaking English, because I want to show this to Super Nicole. So this one looks so good because of it's so many greens in it. So if you don't have that, you can also use the onion, what do you call that? You know when the onion gets old, they have these stems. I don't know if that's leeks, so you can also use that. So yeah, let's close it now. You see, with just a little bit of meat, I have done so many things. So many lumpia. So, with a little wrapper, you can make a lot. So you just imagine me, especially that I don't really eat too much. I just eat a little rice and a little dish, and that's enough. So it doesn't have to be that expensive. You see, with just a little portion, I've done so much. I don't know what to do with this anymore. Because the lumpia wrapper might be running out. So you can have a lot if the meat seems a lot. So I think this meat is just like 1/2 or a little over 1/4. So I don't really have to perfect this because I'm the only one who will eat this. So as long as you have wrapped it and it's done. So what if, so this is really a lot. So that means I could put a lot in one wrap. So at least you can really taste it. So when you cook it well when it's a lot. So I'm sorry for this. This is just me. I'm sorry for that. Okay. So I'll try the last one. The third one. I'll be putting some seasoning mix. Just a little bit. Okay. So I will know what's the difference. So this one already has, I think this would be good because it has the vegetable, added vegetable, and then added seasoning mix. But I believe that all of them will really taste good. This one. So the last one I'm gonna show you. So maybe this one just. So it depends on you of how much you're gonna put in one wrap. So this would be like 1. So this would be the last one is only 3. So I need to. You see, I still have so many. I didn't know that the wrap. I didn't know that. Yeah, I know that I'm gonna be. Oops, I'm sorry for that. You see, when you look at me, you will see why the way I'm doing this. You will see what you will lack. So now, the other one that I'm gonna do. So I will just. So since the wrap is just a little already, so this is 1. So the other one I'm gonna cut it again in half. So I cut it in half. Because I'm gonna show you the other option is to put on some cheese. Okay, we put on some cheese, a little bit of cheese. You see, with cheese, I know in your country, Nicole, that there are a lot of cheese in there. Okay, so here, I just have to put a little, I just have to cut it over there because if I open it all, what will happen? The cheese doesn't have the same quality as when it is closed. So, for this, I'm just going to show you that. This is possible. So since I have 3 wraps, so I'll just have the three for them. So that one. So I didn't have the mix of pinsa mix, and I didn't have the vegetable, but by that I have the mix of the cheese. The cheese. Oh, you see that? You see that? The cheese. I know this would taste good, and if you have a lot of wrap of this one, you can continue with the cheese alone because this would taste good. And sometimes it tasted like mozzarella. You know, sometimes mozzarella. Yeah, you can use the mozzarella cheese. Actually, I really like that. I look at how they do it there. But sometimes this one tastes like this one. You see that? Even without the meat mixture, you can still do the one, only the cheese. But since I have the meat mixture, and I don't have the wrap anymore, so I'll just let it dry. Now when it's hot, you pour on the oil. So you will know when it's hot when you can feel that it's hot. Let's check. So it's not yet hot because it's not reacting. So I'll try the first one. So you see it's reacting now. And then also this one. This one. So if you think it's brownish, you can not yet. Maybe a little, or put the fire in a little, so it will be cooked. So I just put the heat in a lower heat, so that because the meat I didn't cook it first, so in this frying time, by the low heat, you will be able to cook the meat well. So if you think the meat is cooked, let's try to do something like this. Okay. You see, if you put the flame or the heat into its high heat, they could get burnt. So it's safe that while you're cooking, you manage the heat. Okay. So you just wait, and then when you feel like it's cooked, you can now prepare it and put it in the plate for eating. So I finished the first and the second one. Now that I learned that the simple one, the first one, really tastes good. It would mean that the basic one really will suffice and make me feel good that chicken lumpia really tastes good too. So because of our experiments, we learned a lot.